Thank you. First up is roll call attendance.
Bartolotta.
Here.
Birch.
Here.
Camilleri. Yes, here. Plaska.
Here.
Joliet. Here. Thomas.
Here.
Wall.
Here. You did actually forget yourself. You didn't forget to call yourself, you forget who you were, okay. That's good. It's Monday. Next up, we have to approve the agenda for tonight, July 9th, 2018.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? There are none. Under announcements, Waterford Township offers free paper and cardboard recycling for its residents in the parking lot here at Town Hall on the lower level from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. the first Saturday of each month. July's recycling date has been moved to July 14th. Please also note that September's date will also be moved to September 15th. 51st District Court will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Michigan's District Court system by holding a 2-week ticket amnesty program between July 30th and August 10th, and that is excluding the weekends. For more information on the program, visit the 51st District Court's website or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, or simply call the court directly at 248-674-4655. The West Nile virus has been detected in the first Oakland County mosquito pools in 2018, Oakland County Health Division officials have said. No confirmed human cases of the virus have occurred in the county yet this year. West Nile virus is typically detected from June through September, said Leanne Stafford, health official for Oakland County Health Division. The best way to limit the spread of mosquito-borne diseases is preventing mosquito bites. The Oakland County Health Division recommends taking the following steps to prevent mosquito bites. Use Environmental Protection Agency registered insect repellent. Get rid of mosquito breeding sites by removing standing water from around your home, such as running over any type of container that can collect water and cleaning clogged roof gutters. Treat standing water that cannot be eliminated with mosquito larvicide. Wear protective clothing such as long sleeve shirts and pants. Limit outdoor activity from dusk to dawn when mosquitoes are most active. Maintain window and door screens that keep mosquitoes out of buildings. Do not prop doors open. According to the Health Division, West Nile virus is a mosquito-borne virus. Mosquitoes are infected with the virus by biting an infected bird. The virus is then spread to humans through the bite of the infected mosquito. Most people are infected by the virus, have no symptoms, or experience a mild illness such as fever, headache, and body aches. Some individuals can experience inflammation and swelling of the brain. People over the age of 50 are reportedly more likely to develop serious symptoms of the West Nile virus if they do get sick. More information is available at oakgov.com/health. And at the rear of the room tonight, we do have insect repellents back there. We have small pump sprays, we have wipes, and we have the bigger cans. So feel free, this is part of the grant we get from the government, so feel free to take some with you. And again, mosquitoes, because it was wet earlier in the year, are pretty thick. So safeguard against it and hope everybody has a healthy, safe, insect, disease-free summer. Under awards and presentations, we have the Township of Excellence certification. And I will hand this over to Township Clerk Camilleri, seeing as how she did 99.5% of the work on this.
So first of all, let me first make you familiar with the Township, Michigan Townships Association. We, like most of the townships in Michigan, are members, and they provide us with training. They advocate for us in Lansing. They let us know when there's legislation that will affect us so that we can contact our legislators. So it's a very useful group to be a member of. And they have program called the Townships of Excellence. And this program's purpose is for townships to demonstrate that their processes are superior processes and they're doing everything not only right, but they're doing everything the best way. So about 4 years ago, this board decided that we were going to work to get this, and I personally thought, well, Waterford's perfect, so this should be, you'll make quick work of this. Well, where Waterford was very good, it turns out we weren't perfect. There were little holes to be plugged, and so we've been working on it, improving our processes, improving our procedures, implementing ordinances, everything to make the township function better, not only internally, but for the residents themselves. Currently, only 3 of the 1,240 townships in Michigan have this designation of Township of Excellence. And it's a lot of work, and it takes teamwork from all the different departments to pull this off. So about 4 months ago, I turned in a good amount of paperwork that is required. And I don't expect you to be able to read this, but it's big. This is a list of all the documents that had to be submitted for the certification that we have received just recently. I worked with the fire chief to look at their processes, their standard operating procedures. I worked with our previous chief of police to get their standard operating procedures in place. Worked with the water department to make sure the water and sewer policies and procedures were sufficient. And at the end of the day, this is what we submitted. It represents hours of work. In tax collection, the township treasurer had to indicate and show that all of the processes we were doing were appropriate, that information was available to all the residents on the website if they wanted to know, or they could come in and ask the treasurer. Financial stewardship, our budget people aren't here tonight, but they were a big part of this process. Their accreditation and training, that they submit the reports in a timely manner, that these reports are also available to all the residents of the township. Assessment is one that we have not yet sent the paperwork in for. Election administration, that the clerk's office is doing everything in a timely way, following all the rules, making it easy for residents to find out if they're registered, if their absentee ballot can be tracked, what the results are after the end of an election. Emergency services, our fire and police are following accepted standards throughout the state to offer services to the residents. Land use and economic development is a module we have not yet submitted. Utilities, the water department, the sewer department are doing everything as they should be doing it, and our cemeteries are being tracked, the deeds are being tracked, and the records are being preserved so that the information won't be lost. So just that little synopsis tells you that this has been a huge undertaking. And I'm thrilled that we are so close to being named the Township of Excellence. As I said, we have 3 modules left. Governance for the Township Board, we all have to take a certain amount of training. The assessing department, there's a couple of things we're still missing on that, and land use and economic development, we're still working on that. But we are very close, and it won't be too long before you'll be hearing from us up here that we are indeed a Township of Excellence. So for as far as we've gotten so far, congratulations are in order, and there we go. We'll be celebrating.
Job well done, Sue. You know, you put a lot of work in it, and I do recall when she first said she was doing that, and all the time I asked her if she really wanted to take that on. And at that time, I think there was only 2 townships.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's been 1 since then, so we do it, we'll be doubling up from what it was, so that's good. Next up, we have the consent agenda. Is there anything on the agenda that anybody would like to remove prior to me reading it. Okay, we have the June 25th, 2018 board meeting minutes. June 28th, 2018 special board meeting minutes. July 9th, 2018 bill payment. Clerk's Office May 2018 report. Development Services March and April 2018 report. And the library's May 2018 report.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Any further discussion? Okay, this involves bill payment, so it's a roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Fresca.
Yes.
Joey.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Bartolotta.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes. Okay, next up we have the board liaison reports. Tony, we'll start with you.
Okay, I have a few things. June 28th, Planning Commission had a meeting. There's one case that's on our agenda tonight I won't discuss. For public lands, a single family residence. We'll discuss that later on. We had a discussion with 7 Place Mall Sears property over there. We had a very good discussion with DTE people. We postponed it to a later date. We recognize a new planning commissioner, David Harden, and I believe David's going to be a very big asset for the planning commission. I was very impressed with his questions, and I think he's going to be a very special planning commissioner. Waterford Youth Assistance, Waterford Jewelers is designated Monday, July 9th through Tuesday, July 31st. They're replacing batteries and watches, some calculators. They're doing some minor jewelry repair, and they accept donation. 100% of that goes to youth assistance, Waterford Youth Assistance. Eagle Lake, we have a budget meeting. It's open to the public. The public meeting is September 20th at 6:30 p.m. over at Water Resource on Eagle Lake Road. And I have one last thing. They're doing a harvest inspection on Van Norman Lake, actually tomorrow, July 10th at 11:30 a.m. at the boat launch off of Andersonville Road. If anybody's interested, and see what they do.
What lake was that?
That's Van Norman. And that's all I got to report for this month.
Steve.
Cable Commission, nothing to report.
Okay, Margaret.
Nothing to report.
Okay, this isn't a commission, but this past Saturday, July 7th, was the 5th annual Legends softball game up at Shell Park on Dixie Highway. Team Dukovich beat Team Meredith 18-10. For the second time in Legend Games history, somebody hit an over the fence home run. He didn't want to run the bases. Now if you hit a home run in softball, you go back to dugout. You don't have to run the bases. But back when the Legends played the game, you had to run all the bases. You had to touch the bases. But we ended up with 27 players. Only one guy pulled up lame, and by the end of the night, he wasn't limping quite as bad as he was. But the stands were packed. There was a lot of people there, and the Parks and Rec staff did a wonderful job. And then right up behind home plate in front of the backstop, they put Legends on the field there, white chalk. It was kind of neat. We were able to pose in front of that for the picture of everybody. And again, this is it's designed to be a fun time, and it is. And it's, it's a lot of guys around here. We all grew up together in Waterford and played ball against each other, starting with elementary school softball, little league baseball, and then men's fast pitch and slow pitch softball. And it's nice to get out and see people once a year, and it is the blood and guts from yesteryear where you had to win. So, and I will confess, for the 4th time in 5 years, I have been on the losing team. So but still have a good time, and I said it was a good turnout. And it is always, for anybody interested, it's always the first Saturday after the 4th of July, 8 o'clock. On that night, we call it Drayton Ballpark because it's a Legends game, but it is Shell Park, which is immediately to the west of Burke Lumber. Again, it was a good time, and everybody had fun. So that's it for me. Sue?
So the library had a very successful first plant sale, and that proceeds from the plant sale will actually go towards additional landscaping in the parking lot green spaces. So that was somebody's good idea to fund needed landscaping. And their car show is coming up August 4th at 6 p.m. in the library parking lot. So that's a good time if you like old cars. That's a good thing to do. So
Karen?
My Lake Boards, Williams Lake, and Watkins Lake are quiet. We do 3-year rolling budgets, and the Drayton Plains Nature Center is coming up this week. And there's no ZBA meeting this week, so I really have nothing to report.
All right.
I don't really have anything to report. I'm not sure what I'm signing just yet. I know there's a Hess Hathaway meeting this Thursday that I plan to go to, having been on that board prior, so.
Okay. Okay, up for introduction. Zoning case number 18-04-01, rezone from public lands district to R1A single family district.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the rezoning case number 18-04-01, rezone from public lands district to R-1A single family residence.
support. Sorry.
Possible adoption at the July 23rd, 2018 meeting. And my memo here says introduce an ordinance. Would the ordinance number be 2018-Z-003? Would that be the correct ordinance?
Yes, sir.
And that would be my motion.
I'll support that motion.
Any further discussion?
I'd just like to make a comment about it. It's, part of the airport owns a house over there. They have no use for it no more, so they want to put it back on the market, which is good for the township, because we can get it back on the tax rolls. And the house is in very good shape, so I hope it passes tonight.
It was a 5-acre parcel. They split off the front ½ acre, and the remaining 4.5 acres will stay in the clear zone there.
Yes.
Yep. Anybody else? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Fresca,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes?
Jillian,
Yes.
Bartolotto,
Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Camilleri, yes.
Next, we have a request for a lot split division, parcel ID number 13-02-477-010. Current parcel is 3701 Clintonville Road.
I'll make a motion to approve the requested split divide of parcel number 13-02-477-010 as shown on the paperwork submitted.
I'll support.
Okay, is there any?
I have a couple questions I'd like to ask. Would that be Larry Lockwood? Would you be answering it? Couple questions, Larry. I noticed on the site plan.
Is there a representative of the property here?
Yes. Mr. Bowman and Ms. Sherry Locker are here representing the property owners.
My questions are just real simple. I noticed the 3 splits. You have one, the middle section is 70 feet wide.
Yes.
With the setbacks, isn't that going to be pretty difficult place to build a house?
Well, for the R1A zoning district, which all the property in this area abuts, and the current zoning of the property, that is the minimum lot width required for a land division. Now, certainly there's enough area here to make maybe 2 85-foot wide parcels if the applicants were considering that, but this is the proposal we were given by Mr. Bowman and his representative, Sherry Locker. And the only thing in question, based on our current ordinances, is the depth to width ratio, the way that portion of Lake Oakland meanders in along that stretch of Clintonville Road. These parcels enjoy single-family home sites, which are deeper for the majority in character with the neighborhood on that side of Clintonville Road. So staff would support this further division. Now, it's up to Mr. Bowman and his team if they would like to revise the survey to get a greater width parcel than the 70-foot wide parcel, but that's a good question to discuss.
These parcels, are they part of an association?
No, I don't think so.
Right now.
So there's no neighborhood association?
No, what was that originally, Roger? 8 acres originally when your mom and dad bought it, wasn't it? 8 acres, yep.
That's basically my only concern. That lot 70 feet wide seems rather strange. Because you have 100 foot on one side and 115 on the other. Otherwise, I think it's fine.
Larry, what are the setbacks for R1A on the side?
10 foot on each side of a home, including the closest point of the structure, say the roof overhang, to a common property line.
So that would leave a 50 foot building envelope.
Right. Unless you had 12-inch rake soffits, and it would be 48 feet. But yeah, the actual
You
house
still
is-
have a
yeah.
building envelope, and that's
Right.
sufficient.
So since the proposal met the minimum width requirements to establish a new lot or parcel in the R1A district, I couldn't suggest that they widen those parcels. This is something that a group had talked about and wanted to pursue in this fashion. Again, the only issue here is that depth to width ratio. Our ordinance allows for a maximum of 3 times the depth to width, and the state's requirements are 4 times the depth to width. In this case, they're slightly over both of those, but the ordinances and the state statute allows for the local community to review such a land division in character with the surrounding area to see if it would remain compatible. And it was staff's determination that it would.
Now, when they do that, do they average that? I mean, you're 324 on one side and 340 on the other. And 85 4 times would be 340.
Yes, we would average that disparate difference between the two points of shoreline there.
Okay. Now, is that something you would consider 2 85-foot lots rather than 170?
No, Mr.
Pull the
Bowman.
microphone up, would you please?
Mr. Bowman has already discussed a sale of the larger lot to his neighbor. And the price has already been negotiated and it's already with the title company. So he is pretty adamant about wanting that parcel to be that specific size.
Okay.
And just so you know, he has already permitted her to put a fence out there. So I know it's a little premature, but she has a party coming up. So this is the neighbor who had this discussion with him. So it would be a lot of work, is what I'm saying, to change that at this point.
I mean, like I said, it does meet. It does meet
Yes,
the minimum
and
setback.
we had talked to Mr. Lockwood about that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. When I saw that, I knew there was logic behind it,
Yes,
but just until you ask, you never know. So,
right.
And if I might add, this is not for first introduction. This is an action that the board could act on this evening if it felt that's what you wanted to do.
Well, one thing good about it, Roger, you'll have less to mow now, so that's
Oh, believe me.
That's his whole purpose.
That place is big.
yeah.
I'm the last one in the family.
Yep.
And I ain't got that much longer myself.
You're gonna be around for a while. I trust that you are.
Oh, yes. I keep telling him that.
Yeah. Okay, is anybody else have any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Motion in a second. Sorry.
It is a roll call vote, yes.
Okay, Wall.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Fresca.
Yes.
Camilleri. Yes. Birch.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the end of our agenda. We'll open up the public for public comment at this time and remind you that you're limited to 3 minutes.
Hello, Allison Swanson, Parks and Recreation Superintendent. The Waterford Township Parks and Recreation Department is offering input survey for our Parks and Recreation plan. We've recently sent out an email blast and we have the survey available on our website. We're seeking input from citizens as part of our update to our 5-year Parks and Recreation plan. The survey is available at waterfordsurvey.com and the link is also available on the township's website if you click under Parks and Recreation. Paper copies of the survey are available at the Parks and Recreation Department located at 5200 Civic Center Drive, as well as the Waterford Recreation Center located at 5640 Williams Lake Road. The survey is brief and should take no longer than 10 minutes to complete. We want to hear from residents about their opinions regarding our township parks. The Parks and Recreation Plan process will continue through 2018. The plan examines existing park facilities, sets goals for parks, and evaluates demographics, community data, public opinion, and proposes an action program. The township park officials will rely on the input received to determine potential park improvements, projects, and programs over the next 5 years. Any questions regarding the survey should be directed to myself at the Parks and Recreation Department, 248-674-5441, or you can email me at aswanson@waterfordmi.gov. And then I also printed out little pamphlets or little pieces of paper that show you the website for the survey. We're going to put those up at our different park locations too. It's got the QR code that they can just click on and be directed right to the survey. So we'll put those up at our park facilities as well. So survey will run through August.
Okay, good.
The beginning or the end of August?
It's like the 20th
End-ish.
of endish of August, yeah. Right. We'll put notices up again. We'll send another email blast, put it on our social media to remind everybody as the time approaches to get your surveys in. We've had it launched. I think we launched it late last week, and we have over 150 survey results already in. So the community is responding, and that's wonderful. So
Good. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Christine Huslop. I live on Parnell Street, which is adjoined to Man Road and also adjoined to Ferretta. It's Waterford Township, Clarkson Mailing. Today I spoke with the clerk's office, the assessing office, the DNR, the police department about a certain issue. There's a little park beach off of Man Road. And when I called the assessment office, because I wanted to find out, well, who is allowed to go to this beach and who's not allowed, because there was a pontoon boat in the water. They put a big stake in there and just decided to leave their boat there for a week, and you couldn't swim because the boat's floating around. So I called the assessing office. They said that it was deeded to the township of Waterford. So then they steered me to Cindy, who had the clerk and township office, who sent an email, I think, to, I don't know, it was one of you, I didn't catch the name. And then I was told to get hold of the DNR. Then I was also told to call the police department and District 9, and they couldn't do anything either. So the end result, what happened was they said it's a township issue because it was deeded to them, and because they can't do anything to police anything or to find out what our rules are because it was deeded to the township and there is no rules. When I talked to Janet at the township, at the assessing office, she said she looked through all kinds of stuff, couldn't find any information to know who was part of Lake Acres Sub 2, what streets, is designated as a park, who's allowed to go there, who's not allowed to go there, can boats just park anywhere they want and put a stick in the water and say they're going to leave their boat there out for weeks. And so none of these departments like the DNR or the District 9 police or can do anything because until the Waterford Township designates what this actually is. Because again, on the 4th of July, oodles of people go there and then they trash the place. And that boat was there for over a week and the people were upset because they couldn't swim because the boat's like bobbling around the water. So I can't have the law enforcement do anything or DNR or anybody do anything until Waterford Township knows exactly what this park is and who this park is for. All I know is this Lake Acres Sub 2. She couldn't find any names of streets that are part of it, any information. So I feel like, my hands are tied, their hands are tied on what they can do.
So you did call our office today, and
Yes.
Carrie did spend some time trying
Yes.
to locate that
Very
deed.
nice.
She has not been able to do so.
Okay.
The odds are it is not deeded to the township.
Okay,
The
just
township
Janet said it was.
is holding it in trust
Oh, okay.
for whoever this was set aside for their
Okay.
use. The deed will spell out
Okay.
what streets,
Okay.
who it is. but we have to locate that deed.
Okay, because when I talked to Janet, before I talked to Carrie, Janet said it was deeded to Waterford Township, and then she sent me to Carrie, who was, looking into it and didn't know either. So then how do I find out more?
So we'll continue that search.
Okay.
We just didn't have enough time. We have ballots coming in right now.
Right. So now, will they contact me, or?
Did you give Carrie your phone number?
I don't know, I did it so fast this morning on the way to work, and she was,
Okay,
She has your email.
Yeah, she got my,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, well, we have your email.
Okay.
We will continue the search, and I will get back with you.
Okay, sounds great.
What the purpose of that beach is.
Right.
And once we have that information, like you said, then we'll know.
Yeah, because some of the neighbors were upset too, and wanting to know, like, what is this here for?
Just on a quick note, I sit on the Williams Lake board and the Watkins Lake board, and this is an issue, and they need a marina permit to dock a boat.
Well, yeah, and not only that, it was unsafe because this thing is moving around the water, and I knew he was doing it
And you need to,
illegally.
they have to obtain that through the DEQ.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, through DEQ and the MDNR, to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. It's my understanding during the Great Depression, it was not uncommon for shysters to sell these association lots. And by the time everything cleared, they were long gone. So,
Well, yeah, my understanding that from the neighbors, how true all this is that at one point they tried to sell it to anybody that wanted to in the initial area. And the story is the house on the right took over, this is true, part of the property, and house down there on the other end of Man Road completely took over the other part that was on the street. So I just want to find out, what I'm allowed to do, what people are allowed to do, so we can keep it respectful, in a good neighborhood, whether we could put a gate up and start an association, what is the whole situation?
but again, as I was saying, they started having the municipalities, not just Waterford Township,
Yeah,
hold those in trust.
right.
So before a sale can be completed, the proper title work can be done and completed. So, but I can tell you, we had the same thing on Lake Oakland where I live too. I'm not a riparian owner, I'm a across the street owner, but we have an association beach, and you have to have a board, you have to have insurance, you have to have all this stuff, you have to have it. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to it.
Right,
In this day and age, trying to find people that want to do that, maintain it, take care of it,
Right.
and then collect the dues, if you're gonna lock it, unlock it, have a gate there, however you're gonna do it, there's a lot to it. We tried to do that for 3 consecutive years at our association beach, and
It's tough because I was a part of the one at Lotus Lake, and I was part of the one in Pontiac, the beach, part of the, head of everything. And it is tough, finding people, but my main thing is I want to know, can I do anything about this boat pulling up there, or, people coming over there and partying and throw things around, what rights do I have? I mean, the police aren't going to get involved if it's a free, park to do whatever you want, and then they get the neighbors on both sides too. So, yeah, so I know it's a tricky situation because it is a lot of work. Okay, so I'll hear back.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Is there anybody else? Yes, sir.
Trustees, Vaughn Wagner, 2510 Silverside, Waterford, Michigan. I've lived in Waterford for over 50 years, and I have a member of my family that's lived here for over 70. I know we've all heard the statement, I stand behind my police officers, police department. I stand behind my fire department. Have you ever really thought about that statement? Stand behind. Stand behind because they're out in front of us all the time protecting us. Come August 7th, we have a chance to stand in front of them and pass the SAD for them that will give them the tools for their protection and for them to protect us. And I'm hoping that all the citizens of Waterford are there and vote yes on this SAD. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else? Okay. Is there anybody else on the board? Is there anything else you would like to? Yeah. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Any further discussion on that